Joining us right now, Dr. Jayne Morgan. She is the Executive Director of the Piedmont Healthcare COVID Task Force in Georgia. Dr. Morgan, so good to see you. So this is pretty scary, particularly for parents, especially when children under the age of 12 cannot get a COVID vaccine right now. So how concerned should we all be about this Delta variant, particularly as we already start thinking about school in the fall?
Yeah, thank you, Fredricka, for having me today. You know, one of the things that we have to understand is that mutations will continue to happen if we cannot get our vaccination and immunity status up to herd immunity. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so this Delta variant, this Delta mutation is just the latest mutation that will occur, but others will continue to come. And certainly our children represent that pocket of our society that currently is unable to be vaccinated, so is dependent on the rest of us to step up and get vaccinated such that we can protect all of those who are unable to be vaccinated currently.
President Biden talked about the Delta variant this week. This is what he said.
That it's more easily transmittable, this Delta variant, potentially deadlier, and especially dangerous for young people. He says it's the greatest threat to our fight to beat COVID-19. But the good news is we have a solution. The science is clear. The best way to protect yourself against the virus and its variants is to be fully vaccinated. It works. It's free. It's safe. It's easy. It's convenient.
So, Dr. Morgan, the president wants Americans, 70% of Americans, to be fully vaccinated by July 4th. Of course, still unclear whether that goal will be met, but at least hearing more about this Delta variant, do you expect that that might be greater impetus for people to get vaccinated?
I certainly hope so. Make no mistake that at this point, every death from COVID because of our vaccines is preventable. Just think about that. Every single death is preventable, but that window will close as more and more mutations develop. This particular variant is quite fit. It has the ability to be more evasive, more adaptable, more transmissible, cause more serious disease, perhaps even bind to the lung receptors a little bit more strongly. And we have to consider that these mutations will continue to evolve, continue to develop, because that's what viruses do. It's quite a formidable foe. And so we have the tools to step up and fight this foe, and we must consider vaccinations very, very strongly because the Delta variant is just the latest mutation that will continue to develop and occur.
Right, and there could be more after that, especially as there is a resistance among many to get vaccinated. So in Nevada, when we talk about where this school is located, I believe it's pronounced Washoe County, they say they have found 17 total cases of the Delta variant at workplaces. The only people hospitalized were not vaccinated. And we know that over 1 in 10 people in the U.S. has not gotten their second dose of the vaccine. So what kind of plea do you make to people right now to encourage them?
So when we think about the development of these mutations, we have to think about herd immunity and not community immunity. We cannot continue to have pockets of unvaccinated counties and areas in this country, because those pockets create a nidus for mutations to continue to develop. And then those mutations have the ability to continue to learn, to become smarter, and eventually evade the immunization status of the rest of us. And then we start all over again. The entire country is back at square one. Eventually, the vaccine companies will have to go back and not develop a booster shot, but develop a complete reformulation of the vaccine to combat all of the mutations that have developed. So community immunity is not the goal. We cannot have pockets of immunity and pockets of low vaccination status because it puts all of us at risk.
Dr. Jayne Morgan, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you, Fredricka.